a maple walnut fudge for you guys. And we're going to start with the mixing bowl. We're going to use the stove and the mixing bowl today. So your first ingredient is going to be some marshmallow cream, and this is 7 ounces. You're going to need 2-hour cure time to make sure that the fudge sets up. It's not a fudge that you can eat right away, and it's semi-cooked. So let's see. And this jar is 7 ounces, but we're going to put the whole jar in the mixing bowl. If any of you guys are looking for recipes and you're a recipe junkie like me, just know that I have a Facebook page and I post not only my own recipes, but recipes of many other home cooks like myself, and a lot of very old 50 to 60-year-old recipes on my Facebook page. We have a pretty big following, and I think I'm up to 1,000 followers. So if you're interested in that, find me on Facebook under Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. I'll leave a link in the description for you. So we're going to add our marshmallow cream. This is a great holiday. Everybody asks for desserts, so here you go. Grab your pen. Want to so badly lick that, but you can't, right? Okay. Then we're going to add I'm going to add some Nestle White Premier chocolate chips. And this is the whole entire 12-ounce bag. If you skimp on the chocolate, it's not going to come out as well. It won't taste as yummy. And you're going to need your whisk for your attachment to your mixing bowl. This, and then we're going to add to this, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of maple extract. You could use maple syrup, but you would probably need to add more maple syrup. So I guess to give you an idea, this maple concentrate is probably 5 times the strength of the maple syrup. And you don't want cooked, you want the cold pressed maple syrup. These never pour right. 2. Because you don't want the syrup necessarily. You're looking for the flavor. Okay. I think I dribbled some here on the side. We're going to mix this up as soon as I plug it in. I keep this thing unplugged, so I constantly forget. So just on a low speed, we're going to mix it together. Do a little bit faster for just a few seconds. Okay, we're gonna leave this 3-quart, and now we're gonna go to the pan here, and we're gonna add a stick and a half of real butter. I've not used this with margarine, so I would definitely use real butter. And we're gonna melt the butter down. Shouldn't take that long. Okay, and then we're going to pour, while this is melting, we're going to pour 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. And we're going to let this heat up until it starts to become a rolling boil. You don't want to push it up on high, you just want to get it on medium, because if you burn this, it's not going to be worth putting in your fudge. Okay, so we're going to bring this to a rolling boil. Make sure the lens isn't fogging up. Move it back over this way a little bit. Okay, we're going to let this cook for 5 minutes. You want a rolling boil. You're going to turn it down to a simmer, and you're going to let it simmer and cook for 5 minutes. Constantly stirring. We're going to take the cooked butter and milk, and we're going to pour it back in the mixing bowl with our chips and our marshmallow cream. Okay, then we're gonna put this back in, and we're gonna turn it on low. If you turn it on high, this hot mixture is gonna fly. So I'm gonna just pulse it and then get it to start mixing while it's hot, because you're gonna want to melt those chips. You're gonna want to blend the flavors, the maple flavor and the marshmallow cream. And the more this cools down, the more speed you're going to add to it, so that it puts air into the fudge to make it really fluffy. If you try to do this by hand, you're just going to have some really dense fudge. And at this stage, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of walnuts. I can see that my chocolate chips are almost melted, or they're getting there. I'm going to turn it up one other notch. I'm going to add in my walnuts. Turn it back down. And then I'm going to kind of lift this as I'm letting it go low, so it comes out of the beater. Just helps a little bit. Knock off as much as we can. And as this is already starting to cool down, it's going to start to want to thicken up before it sets up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this bowl off. And I've got a 13 by, I think it's 13 by 9 by 1. And these are just the disposable pans you can buy at the dollar store. They're nothing fancy. And they're great for fudge because they allow the fudge to kind of set up. And make sure I can get it all into the camera here. Yeah. So I'm going to pour our fudge into this pan. Right. Okay. Get this off of the thing, and then you're just going to want to, you know, let it harden. And if you're in a super hurry, you're going to want to put this in the refrigerator for like an hour. I'm going to let this set up for 2 hours and on its own. I'm not going to refrigerate it. And it should be soft enough or firm enough to be able to cut into squares, but this should make well over 50 pieces. And depending on how big of a piece your group eats. And now I got to make another batch with no nuts in them because my husband doesn't eat nuts. But that is the end of the recipe. I'll post a link to the recipe. I'll post it on my blog site. If you already have my blog site saved in your favorites, then it's just going to be up there. Give me 24 hours to get it posted with photos and everything. It does take time, and our internet is quite slow here. But I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you will share this with your friends and family during the holidays. These make great gifts. You could cut them, put them in little jars with bows, or, you know, serve them as gifts to neighbors, mailmen, whoever you want to bless. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys on the next one, and find somebody to bless. Everybody have a wonderful holiday.